Hello, I'm just doing a mini lecture here about somebody that's very important to chemistry and the periodic table, and that is Mendeleev. Dmitry Mendeleev was a Russian chemist in the 1800s, and he developed a really good way of organizing the known elements at the time. Now, he wasn't the only one doing this. There was lots of people that were organizing the known elements by columns, by rows, grouping them together by characteristics. But his table seemed to be working the best to predict what other elements we might find. Now, the first thing we want to do, you'll notice that there's 3 pictures up here. So one of these people is Mendeleev. And they all have beards. They're all old white men, and they're all former scientists. But Dmitry Mendeleev is actually this one here in the middle. So just put a star there above Dmitry. Neither one of these two are Mendeleev. Now, let's look at an early prototype of his periodic table. This looks similar to our current modern periodic table. Not exactly the same, but you can see where the appearance and organization of it comes from. Again, other people were doing things that were similar at the time. But with his, he got it down to a point where he said, okay, I can predict what the characteristics of an unknown element will be. For instance, this one right here, 68, has a line. Now that one was not known at the time, but he said there should be an element here with an atomic number right around 68. It will be a metal. It will be shiny at room temperature. It'll be solid at room temperature. It's a good conductor of electricity. You can make wires out of it, all because of where it should be on his table. And then he said, also, very unusually, this metal will melt at a very low temperature. So if you take a solid piece of this metal and you place it in the palm of your hand, that will be warm enough to start to melt that metal into a liquid. So what I want you to do is put a box right around this 68 right here, okay? Make sure I can see it. And that was the genius of Mendeleev, and his contribution to this periodic table was putting it in a way that you could predict what the elements would be. And eventually, like I said, they found this metal. They figured out what this metal is, and they were able to name it. And we have 3 different options down here. And 68, or what Mendeleev described as 68, ended up being this metal right here, gallium. Okay, so put a triangle around gallium. And it very much matched what his predictions are. The atomic mass was just a little bit off, but all the other characteristics were just as he said, and gallium actually will melt into a liquid in your hand. I hope this helps.